Darrell Jazz Johnson, Seconds Out, here with former boxing champion and incredible commentator on Top Rank Boxing, ESPN, Timothy Bradley Jr. Timothy, how are you?
Doing very well, man. Thanks for having me. Seconds out, baby.
Let's take it back 2 weeks ago. What did you see out of Devin Haney in his dominant victory over George?
I saw a guy that was destined for greatness, man. Honestly, he's been doing it since he was, came out of mom's womb in the crib. Put on sensational performance. I love the fact that he stayed confident all the way through. I actually love the fact that he went there. He had the nerve to actually go there, call his shot, nothing on his side, and then pull off a victory. So great performance, great boxing display. Showed all his tools. I think that was the best Haney that I've ever seen, and that goes to show you that the better the competition, the better Haney we will see.
If you were in George Kambosos' camp, would you recommend he take the option for the rematch?
Man, you know what? It's all about business, man, at the end of the day. I mean, he's contracted to face Devin Haney. If I was in his camp, I probably would take the fight. But things can happen, man, depending on his promoter and what they have in store. So that's pretty much what I want to see from him, man, to be honest with you.
Do you think Haney is the top of that group you just mentioned? And if not, who is at the top?
Yeah, I honestly, I think he is. I think he could be. Honestly, you look at his resume. He has Kambosos on there now. He has a few other formidable challengers. But, when I look at the skill set that he brings into the ring and how long he is, how confident he is, how fearless he is. And like I said, he just gets better in with the competition. He's dangerous for anybody in the division because he's a pure boxer, and he's defensively sound too, and technically and tactically sound as well, man. He's hard. That's tough to deal with, bro. Then you put the physicality on top of that, as far as him being in extreme shape. I don't think that we've seen. He's not even full strength yet, man. He's not even. He ain't even hit his prime yet, dude. This dude's 23 years old. I mean, there's a lot to Haney, man, you got to deal with. So if you got a guy like Tank Davis that, is real selective with his shots, he can punch, great counter puncher. But what happens when you got that jab constantly working in your face? You got a guy with a high offense that can, throw combinations and counter you. And he knows he's looking for one shot. A guy that can move and won't be there for the return fire. Haney, man. Haney can be that guy. And we've seen in the past, Tank, struggle a little bit against boxers, I would say. I think that last guy that he faced at 140 was doing pretty well. I forget his name off the top right now, but he was doing pretty well until he got stopped. I think Tank will have a puncher's chance against Haney. I just don't think Tank will be able to land that shot. Haney will take that away from him. So I think Haney can beat him. Lomachenko, we're not sure how he going to come back. So from war, a little older now. Let's see. I think that, he's a smaller guy. I think Haney, once you take those angles away from Lomachenko, he becomes an ordinary fighter. And people don't realize that. Teo, he took those angles away from him, and he was ordinary. If you don't allow him to get to the sides, and when you have that experience that Haney has, you can turn with him. So as soon as he try to get around, nope, you swivel around, and now he don't have the angle on you. So I think Haney has the ability to do that too. Garcia, he's another guy that has a puncher's chance. I think, boxing-wise, he's nowhere near Haney as far as his skill set goes, his technique goes. I don't even think he really owns a jab to begin with. Yeah, he's tall, he's quick, got a pistol-like left hook, but what else does he have? What else does he bring to the table? I think Haney should be able to take advantage of him as well and beat him on points. So, yeah, I think Haney is that guy, or could be that guy at 135, the last man standing. We just got to make these fights, see if that comes to fruition, man. See if that comes true.
You're at Madison Square Garden, the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden, 2 weeks in a row. Talk about this past Saturday's main event. What did you see out of that main event?
Well, to be honest with you, I saw a guy a little mentally weak, I would say, in Berlanga. the whole biting and that shows he definitely was mentally weak. But I did see a guy that actually somewhat followed the game plan. They had a game plan and he was able to execute it. It wasn't a great, great performance, but we saw a new wrinkle. We saw him box a little bit off the back foot, use his jab and move. Of course, we want to see more counter ability from him, but it's a start. It's a start. We're used to seeing a knockout artist, just come in and bull first. He fought against a guy that could punch, a dangerous older fighter that can punch. That was there in game the whole fight. So he did what he had to do to get the dub. And sometimes you got to go through that, man, to be able to grow. So he couldn't get the knockout. It's all good. I just say you got to get his mind right, man. That's it at the end of the day. Get your mind right, man. Don't be in that fight looking up at the clock. No, I mean, you gotta get yourself in tip-top shape and believe in yourself, kid, and believe in your training. And once he does that, I think he'll be better off, to be honest with you. I think he'll be a lot better off. And get away from social media, man. That's one of the things. You don't need social media, man. You get rid of that. Be honest with you, man, I don't really follow social media at all. I don't, I have it, but I'm not on social media. I don't, people send me things, send me videos and things like that. And I may look at it, but that's it. I'm not on social media at all. So if you send me something on social media, I probably ain't read it, and I'm sorry, but I don't do social media, man. I think social media is definitely the devil, man, and people on there is fake, and I don't trust anybody that be on that social media all day showing everything that they doing and what they not doing and what they got and all that. That's bull crap,
Do you think the 16 KOs in a row were damaging to Berlanga?
Oh yeah, of course, but you can't help that. I mean, the guys he got in there and he knocked them out. I mean, that's a quick paycheck. One, it's entertaining. The fans loved it. Of course, it wasn't the best thing. It hasn't been the best thing for his career, but at the end of the day, you still got to work hard in the gym and get better, man. That's where you win the fights and get better in the gym, and sometimes guys can, get in their own head and feel that they're invincible at the end of the day. And that's why you need people like myself to humble you, to humble you. You got to be humble, man. And you got to continue to work on your craft day in and day out and get better. And that's just it. So I think Berlanga's going in the right direction now. I just, there was a little hiccup along the way with the biting and all the other antics or whatever he did in the ring. But it's a learning experience for him. He's still young. And he just got to continue to work hard and grow and just get better. And that's just it, man. I don't want to talk too much more about it. I mean, it is what it is. It's over and done with now.
Let's move to 2 days from now. What do you see out of Beterbiev and Joe Smith Jr.?
It's a good fight. It's a great fight, great matchup. 3 belts on the line. We're seeing more and more of that. It's starting to become I don't know. Everybody's starting to follow the suit now, It took a couple of guys to really go after it. I think Canelo Alvarez probably was one of the leaders, once he became, pound for pound number one after, capturing all of the championships at 168 pounds. It just became a bug now. Everybody's trying to become undisputed, which is great, but we can go back, Crawford undisputed, got a guy named Taylor. Another undisputed, Carissa Shields. I mean, Usyk. I mean, there's so many, man, in this generation, in the 4-belt era that are trying to become undisputed champions. I mean, so yeah, I think we're getting close to that. Another undisputed champion in the light heavyweight division. I think Artur Beterbiev is a guy that we've seen. We don't know a whole lot about though. He's 17 for 17 knockouts. I remember him back when he fought Vosdick. Vosdick was a slight favorite when they fought, and he was able to take him out, who's a good boxer, trained by Teddy Atlas, a guy that could punch too. You got a guy like Joe Smith Jr., who he's facing. This guy is a high-volume power puncher. He doesn't have the IQ of let's say, a Vosdick. Don't have the IQ. But he does have size, he does have punching power, and he does have grit, determination. But a lot of times that don't win you fights. Tough guys don't win win you boxing matches. It boils down to the smartest man in there. So I would say Saturday night, whoever's the smartest man in there, man, that can actually imply their game plan is going to win the fight. And I believe that it's going to be Artur Beterbiev. I don't think no offense to Joe Smith. I think Joe Smith got a puncher's chance without a doubt. But I just think that Beterbiev is just, I want to say more technically sound because he has his style and his technique, but I think he's just more seasoned, even though with 17 fights because of that amateur background. You know, a lot of people don't put that into consideration, bro. When you have that amateur background, you've been able to hone your skills and apply, you know, and you have that know-how. You know how to break these guys down. You know what to look for. And I think that Beterbiev is just better in that department alone with the punching power, with the grit that he brings in the ring, fighting with that damn big-ass cut he had on his head. Unbelievable, man. And still being able to pull through. You know, it's tough to go against a guy like that, man. So I'm going to say Beterbiev. I say he stops him. Don't know which round. Most fights, I would say, when you have two big punchers, they go under 6. You know, if you look at history, a lot of times they go under 6 rounds. So we'll see.
And it sounds like whoever wins on Saturday, and you're predicting Arthur to win, you would want him to unify with Boval instead of taking, let's say, a huge fight in England against Anthony Yarde.
I mean, at the end of the day, yeah. I mean, it's boxing business. So, you know, ain't nobody gonna be sitting there waiting on Beterbiev. I mean, you know, Yarde, I understand that he's probably waiting for his shot. I'm not sure which title or which, you know, sanctioned body he's ranked in. I'm not sure. I don't have it off the top of my head, but
I believe he's the number 1 in WBO.
So the WBO. So he probably is gonna have to. He's gonna get next. Then he's gonna get the crack at the winner at the end of the day. So you gotta handle your obligations. That's what comes along with the belts. You know, you got mandatories. So if he's the number 1, he's a mandatory. Then Yarde's gonna get the dibs, and then after that, I'm pretty sure, you know, the winner's gonna want to face Bivol.
2 more questions. We hear rumblings that a Spence Crawford deal is very close. How would you see that fight playing out?
Excellent fight. I think it's a tough fight for both guys. I've always favored Crawford in the fight, but I think it's a winnable fight for Spence as well. You know, Spence, I would say he's probably has the best basics in boxing. Honestly, great jab, stays behind it, great fundamentals. You know, tremendous puncher to the body, great inside game. You know, and he's consistent with it. You know, every single round he's consistent with it. So that's tough to deal with, man. You got something in your face all night. You know, a guy that's going to be in your grill. A guy, if you even try to rest in the inside, he's going to chop you up to pieces down to the body. You know, and so I would expect Crawford to move. You know, Crawford, I feel, has better feet. I think that he's a better boxer, a better counterpuncher as well. I think he can use that to his advantage in the fight. You know, he's a little bit longer than Spence as well. He has power, sneaky power, and he has for strength as well. And he's not going to stand there and let Spence hit him down to the body. You know, he's going to move. He's going to use angles. And any mistake that Spence make, he should expect the counter. It's going to come. And Crawford being a great counterpuncher, I'm going with him. My money's on him. But I think the fight's going to be extremely entertaining, and I think whoever executes their game plan, to be honest with you, is going to win the fight.
Final question. Who do you think wins the Joshua Usyk rematch? And do you think Tyson Fury will fight the winner? And if so, what do you think happens in that fight?
I don't know. I don't know what Tyson Fury's going to be doing, honestly. Tyson Fury says a lot. I know Tyson Fury needs boxing. You know, and I think boxing needs Tyson Fury, to be honest with you. Great. I think it's going to be a good fight. I'll be honest with you. I think the fight Usyk and Joshua is going to be an interesting second fight. I think we've seen Joshua in the past. We've seen him make adjustments. When he fought against Ruiz, he boxed. He made adjustments. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He can do that. You know, he knows how to make adjustments. But I think it's more mental than anything for Joshua. I think technically he can improve in certain areas, but mentally he has to become stronger. You're in there with a guy like Usyk, who's mentally tough, man. You know, this guy's fearless. He's a great boxer. He's a tremendous boxer. Off his back foot, a lot of movement. He's tough to deal with. He's a smaller guy, yeah, but he's able to find those little seams to be able to take advantage of those moments where you have the big heavyweight guy that's just sitting there, sitting still, and he's able to sneak shots in on him. So, um, rematch. Who do I got? Man, that's a tough one, man. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. I'm not sure on that. I gotta go back, watch the first fight, watch the first fight over, and see what type of adjustments that Joshua can make. I know that he was doing very well when he was actually attacking and going to the body of Usyk, which is the largest target that you should be hitting at, especially when you got a guy that moves his head so a whole hell of a lot and move his feet. So if he comes out and starts attacking his body early, and have a steady pace. You don't have to be reckless and have a steady, controlled pace. Let his hands go and don't really try to throw with too much power early on. Just kind of try to touch him. I think he has a chance. I think he definitely has a chance of beating Usyk, but we'll see, man.
Final question. You've made the successful transition from in the ring to behind the mic, calling fights. How have you made that transition look so seamless?
Nah, you know what? It's been a work in progress. It's been 4.5 years, man. It's just like with boxing. I started off. I wasn't so great. I wasn't so hot. I wasn't so hot in boxing. When I started my career as a young kid. So it's just work, man. A lot of work, a lot of research. Just day in and day out, man. Studying the craft, studying different arts of boxing, studying commentary work from different sports, and just trying to find my niche. And I don't know if you understand. I just try to teach, man. I just want to teach the sport. My commentary is not based upon. It's based upon what I'm seeing, but it's based upon telling you exactly what's going on and how this guy's doing it, what he's doing and how he's doing it. That's my commentary. So I love being a teacher. Why he's doing this, or maybe this guy is not doing this. You know what I mean? And he could be doing this, and this can help him in the fight. So that's the way I commentate fights. I could sit back and talk about the stories, and I could sit back and talk about this guy and what he's done in the past and all of that. But that bores me. I'm all about the art, man. I'm all about the art. And if there's little things that I see that I want to just share with the fans and tell you about, that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, from what I see on social media, because you're not looking, you have a lot of fans of your work. We look forward to, though I'll be in the arena, I know the fans will look forward to your call of the fight. Timothy Bradley Jr. here with Seconds Out. Thank you for the time.
Hey, seconds out, baby. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. This is Boxing, this is Top Rank, presented by Hall of Fame boxing promoter, Mr. Bob Arum. Brought to you by Boost Mobile, Power, Money is Power, and by Caesars Sportsbook, You Bet, You Get. Our co-feature right now, getting ready to get on the scale. We need to get the commission up here in order to make this happen. So hold on just 1 second, Max. I think we're going to go back to you because we do not have the commission up here on stage with us. So give us 1 second, Max. Back to you guys.
The commission wants to recheck Smith, and then they're bringing it out.
They're alive. They just tossed to me to weigh these guys in.
They told us they're doing.
We are. Guys, are we ready to weigh these guys in this first fight? They're in my ear talk. We're ready? Okay. Commercial break. They went to commercial. Make it look pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you would tank if you had.
I don't have any on me, sir.
Okay. That's good enough. Nobody's gonna step.
Nobody's going to see that.
Yeah.
The only thing we're going to do is, just so you know, we're going to bring in the vanity curtain from back here and come around like this. Put it right in here.
Sure, if we need it. Is anybody overweight? Unless it's like,
It's questionable.
yeah. Keep an eye on that because sometimes it shuts off if it goes too long.
Just had it on for the-
We're going here. This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds for the vacant USBA WBO Global Featherweight titles. Please welcome first on the scale from Albany, New York, 21-0, 15 by knockout. Let's go.
Sound great, man.
There. Let's go. Cuba, 9-1, 5 KOs. Robesi. Let's go.
45 seconds back out of
45 seconds out of commercial. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go, MSG. Get the energy up in here. Let's go. Let's go, Derek Harmon. 15 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds for the vacant USBA, WBO Global Featherweight titles. Let's get them on the scale. First up, welcome from Albany, New York, 21-0, 15 by way of knockout, Abraham El Supernova.
No doubt. No fear, no doubt. No fear, no doubt.
125.4.
125.4. 125.4 for Abraham El Supernova. His opponent from Cienfuegos, Cuba, 9-1, 5 knockouts, Robesi El Tre Ramirez.
Let's go. Get to it.
Move your feet in a little. Mueve el pie adentro porque, okay. 125.8.
125.8 for Robesi El Tre Ramirez. We gotta move, guys. We gotta do this quick.
Let's go, baby. No fear, no doubt. 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 Super Nova. Super Nova. Vamos a ver, champ.
Peleamos mañana.
Here we go into the main event, guys. Main event. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to weigh in our main event, scheduled for 12 rounds for the WBO, the IBF, and WBC Light Heavyweight Championships of the world. Please welcome, presented in association with Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing. He is from Long Island, New York. He is the common man, the beast from the East, Joe Smith Jr.
174.6.
174.6. 174.6 for Joe Smith Jr. And please welcome from Montreal, Canada, Artur Beterbiev.
On the head.
175. 175 for Artur Beterbiev. Yeah. The bottom of the sheet up. Hey, Jeff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, watching us live on the Top Rank YouTube and Twitter feeds. In about 2 minutes, we will continue our weigh-ins with our undercard. We're currently live on ESPN, Max on Boxing. We are going to let our main event do some interviews just off the stage, and then we'll come back to you on our feed as we continue the weigh-ins in 2 minutes with our undercards. Thank you so much for your patience. Jeff. We're good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome inside the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. This is Boxing, this is Top Rank, presented by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Mr. Bob Arum. Brought to you also by Boost Mobile, Money is Power, and by Caesars Sportsbook. You bet, you get. The undercards getting weighed in right now. We go live at 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Plus. Again, we go live 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Plus. The co-main and main event will be on the network ESPN approximately 10 p.m. Eastern. Again, the undercard starts 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Plus. And let's get him weighed in right now. Our first bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the junior middleweight division. Please welcome from Dublin, Ireland, Keane, the Iceman McMahon, and his opponent from Schenectady, New York, Jaye, the Golden Child Brown. First on the scale from Dublin, Ireland, Keane, the Iceman McMahon.
Move your feet in a little, Key. Okay, good. 150. Hold on, don't move. Don't move, Key. Hold on. Don't move. 152.6.
152.6. 152.6 for the Iceman. His opponent from Schenectady, New York, Jaye, the Golden Child Brown.
153.2.
153.2. 153.2 for the Golden Child Brown.
What was that?
153.2 was the last one. Throw in your shorts, we'll do a quick face-off. Quick face-off, guys.
No face off.
No face-off to these guys? No face-off. No face-off. Moving right along. We are moving right along. Our next bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the middleweight division. Again, 6 rounds in the middleweight division. Please welcome from Riverside, California, Dante Alexander the Great, and his opponent from Alexandria, Virginia, Troy the Transformer Isley. Yeah, we had to skip it. He's not ready. Something's up. They skipped it. Dante Stubbs.
That's Stubbs?
Yeah. First on the scale from Riverside, California, Dante Alexander the Great Stubbs.
No, there you go. 161.6.
161.6. 161.6 for Alexander the Great Stubbs. His opponent from Alexandria, Virginia, Troy the Transformer Isley.
$158.6.
158.6. 158.6 for the Transformer Isley. Yeah, right here. This bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the middleweight division. From Riverside, California, Dante Alexander the Great Stubbs. From Alexandria, Virginia, Troy the Transformer Isley. 6 rounds in the middleweight division. Tell me how to. Wadanovsky. Then it's Daniil. Oh, fuck, I'm on fire today. Our next bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the junior featherweight division. Please welcome from right here in Brooklyn, New York, Daniil Platonovsky and his opponent from Las Vegas, Nevada, Floyd Cashflow Diaz. First on the scale from Brooklyn, New York, Daniil Platonovsky.
$122 on the head.
122. 122 for Platonovsky. His opponent from Las Vegas, Nevada, Floyd Cashflow Diaz.
121.6.
121.6. 121.6 for Cashflow Diaz. This bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the junior featherweight division from Brooklyn, New York, Daniil Platonovsky. From Las Vegas, Nevada, Floyd Cashflow Diaz. 6 rounds in the junior featherweight division.
Thank you.
Here we go, guys. Here we go, guys. Here we go, guys. Here we go, guys.
Our next bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the welterweight division. Please welcome from Atlanta, Georgia, DeAndre Smith and his opponent from Deer Park, New York, Jahai Tucker. First on the scale from Atlanta, Georgia, DeAndre Smith.
Wait, hold on. 147.6.
147.6. 147.6 for DeAndre Smith. His opponent from Deer Park, New York, Jahai Tucker.
$147.8.
147.8. 147.8 for Jahai Tucker. This bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the welterweight division. From Atlanta, Georgia, DeAndre Smith. From Deer Park, New York, Jahai Tucker. 6 rounds, welterweight division. Leyva. The city that you're from in Cuba. Baracoa. They had something else. Guantanamo. Baracoa. Our next bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the featherweight division. Please welcome from Baracoa, Cuba, Adrian Leyva, and his opponent from Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York, Bruce Shoo Carrington. First on the scale from Baracoa, Cuba, Adrian Leyva.
127.4.
127.4 for Leyva. 127.4. His opponent from Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York, Bruce Shoo Carrington.
127.8. 127.4.
127.4. 127.4 for Shushu Carrington. This bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the featherweight division. From Baracoa, Cuba, Adrian Leiva. From Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York, Bruce Shushu Carrington. 6 rounds in the featherweight division.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Our next bout scheduled for 8 rounds in the junior middleweight division. Please welcome from Reading, England, Asenia the Ghost Byfield. And from Huntington, New York, Wendy the Haitian Fire Toussaint. First on the scale from Reading, England, Asenia the Ghost Byfield.
$152.8.
152.8 for Byfield. His opponent from Huntington, New York, Wendy the Haitian Fire Toussaint. 152.2 for the Haitian Fire Toussaint. This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the junior middleweight division. From Reading, England, Asenia the Ghost Byfield. From Huntington, New York, Wendy the Haitian Fire Toussaint. 8 rounds in the junior middleweight division.
Go, baby.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our weigh-ins this afternoon. Again, a reminder, the undercards begin at 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Plus, you can watch us there all evening long, or you can switch over to the network ESPN at 10 p.m. Eastern for the co-feature and our main event. Again, the WBO, IBF, WBC Light Heavyweight Championships of the world. We're going to unify the division. Joe Smith Jr., Artur Beterbiev. As always, this is boxing. This is Top Rank. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.